Bethel, a church beloved by many, despised by others, and at the center of many controversies. One phenomenon in particular has drawn the skepticism of many critics, the glory cloud. I have personally read and watched videos online of people who have never been to Bethel and certainly weren't there when the glory cloud happened, and yet claim it was all fake. So what I decided to do was go talk to some people who were there, who were in the room, and saw the glory cloud firsthand, and let you decide for yourself what to think after having heard their experience.
So what's your name?
Joshua Frost.
And where do you work?
Bethel Church in Redding, California.
What do you do?
I'm the Custodial Director.
How long have you worked here?
On and off since 2005.
So what's that like? I don't know. I can't do that math.
Too old. 16 years, 17 years.
So you were here when the glory cloud happened.
I was in the same room when it first appeared.
Do you remember what year it was?
About 2009, 2010, 11, somewhere around there.
Okay. So tell me about it. What room? Where were you? What happened? How was it?
So I was in the sanctuary at the time during a night service of the Open Heavens Conference, which would be about October, fall time basically. And John and Carol Arnott were speaking at the event, as well as Bill Johnson. And I forget exactly what was going on the stage, but I think there was worship in the background. Maybe Bill came up and started sharing, but then the cloud appeared to the left of the stage, or house right of the sanctuary. And then everyone just kind of was in awe and just kept worshiping and staring at it. So I was just attending the event at the time.
Was it the end of the service or the beginning of the service?
It was during the service, I think after worship or after preaching, I can't remember.
How big was it up there?
It's probably about a 3x3 area. It's like a cloud.
And it just stayed there?
Just stayed there. It would move around a little bit, but it never came low enough to where we could touch it.
How do you know it wasn't glitter?
Because, it wasn't really the color of glitter. It was more like a transparent, like a see-through fog. There was some sparkling every once in a while.
So was it like a fog machine?
No, definitely not. If we did have fog machines, we normally didn't have them for those events. Mainly only youth conferences had fog machines.
Well, why couldn't it be dust in the ventilation system?
Because it would be super hard. Like, we clean those things out twice a year pretty intently. And the dust doesn't float like that. Like, I've seen floaty dust and it looks completely different than what the cloud did.
How many people were in the room?
It was definitely a sold out event, so it was probably close to 1,000, about 960, 70.
So, did you only see it one time?
I only personally saw it once, yes.
Okay, but you heard about it happening more than once?
On an ongoing basis for months.
Okay. What do you think it was?
It was God for sure. It's definitely a manifest. God or an angel or something. I would say that it was God because the way it made people feel when it showed up. It made you want to worship. It made you want to be in awe that, like, Jesus Christ walked in the room.
How did it make you feel?
The same. We're just in awe. Like, I actually walked up on stage with Bill and with John and Carol, and we were actually right under it, to the left of the stage, or be stage left, house right, and we kind of got as close as we could, and we tried to touch it, but we couldn't reach it. So even when we were on the stage, we couldn't reach it.
Do you think that's an appropriate response?
Yeah, I mean, if I see something weird, I'm going to try to touch it. I think different personalities would handle it differently.
Do you think any people responded inappropriately to it?
During my one time I saw it, no. Everyone literally just started worshiping more intently. The band got more intense. The people worshiping got more intense. People were like falling on their knees. Not worshiping the actual manifestation, but actually worshiping Jesus.
What if someone said this is Satan as an angel of light, or it's a demonic distraction? What would you say?
Definitely not, because you can feel the difference. I've been around demons. I've been in rooms where people are possessed by demons, or they're getting delivered, and it is a completely different feeling than it's the opposite feeling of what we felt when the cloud would show up.
Okay. And you're certain this wasn't like manufactured by somebody on staff wasn't a hoax in any way? How do you know?
Yeah, I mean, especially during that time, I probably spent the most time in our building than one individual, 40 plus hours a week. I
Which
would
building?
notice it, the main campus that's behind us, the sanctuary. And so I would have noticed somebody sneaking up there. I always came in early. I would randomly show up middle of the night to check on my crew, and never saw anyone doing anything suspicious in that area of the building. Plus, you'd have to have a giant ladder. A ladder wouldn't even work. You'd have to have like a sky lift or some type of lift to even get up there.
Yeah. Huh. So you're certain it wasn't somebody faking it. You don't think Bill and Chris were working in cahoots with somebody to have a cool conference moment?
No, definitely not. I mean, if somebody did do that, like I said, you'd have to figure out a way to secretly sneak up there. There's cameras in the room. I don't know if the cameras can actually see it, but you would catch somebody walking through the room around the same time or the night before, which was never the case.
Okay. Any final things you'd want to say about it?
No, I think my final thing would be that I 100% believed it happened and that it was some type of manifestation of God, kind of like when Moses would come down the mountain, there'd be like these clouds with him, or there'd be some type of manifestation. So I would kind of put it in that category of things.
So you don't think it's man-made?
Never. It'd be impossible.
You don't think
like,
it's a natural phenomenon?
No. And it's never happened consistently since then, and not much has changed in that region of the room.
Okay. I guess the last question would be, why do you think it happened?
No clue. I can't say why God does anything, but I think he just wanted to show off, maybe just show up. But I think we were just in an amazing time of worship, and he decided to show up a little bit more than normal.
Why hasn't he since?
I don't have a clue. It'd be a God question for sure. If I was God, I would definitely know, but I'm not.
All right, thanks, Josh.
See ya.